or how do publishers handle branding?
Often very badly or not at all.
All right, well, that's that.
But that doesn't mean you have to do it that way.
Oh, okay. So, like, there's not rules?
Are there rules? I don't know if we can agree on that in the time that we have available for this recording.
Hi, I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 28 years.
I'm Elly, the vice president of Microcosm. We started this podcast to share what we've learned with newer publishers, so you can learn from our mistakes. Or maybe you just want to learn about the publishing industry.
This week, we are going to answer a reader question.
Thanks, reader.
How do I handle branding, or how do publishers handle branding?
I think it is a good idea to brand yourself as a publisher. Maybe that.
It is. So why do so few publishers do it?
Well, it's not traditional in our industry. It's supposed to be about the power of the books, and each book stands on its own, and maybe it has a respectable publisher behind it, but that's not the first thing the reader is supposed to notice. But on the other hand, we are moving into an era where it is harder for new publishers to sell into bookstores without being known, which the bigger publishers already are. They don't need to brand themselves. Everyone knows who FSG is or Penguin Random House. But when you're selling directly to consumers, they do want to know a little bit about you and who are you, and should they buy just this one book, or should they buy all your books?
Spoiler alert, you should buy all the books.
If you like the publisher, if you like their books, if you relate to their brand.
And so a lot of this is that it was taboo. The popular thinking for most of the last 200 years is that you didn't give much mind to who the publisher was. The author was the brand. The publisher was the ATM machine. And, you didn't necessarily think much of, what they brought to it. It was more about, the publisher wasn't really working as a packager or as a coherent voice behind the books, whereas Workman started that shift to really focusing on the brand of the publisher, and then in an entirely different way, Penguin really emphasized their brand as we are an authority. Penguin books are good books. You're
gonna get what you get when you see the Penguin.
And then it was Penguin Classics, for the dead, and then it was Dead People, not the Grateful Dead, and then it was lots of series became the most modern interpretation of that. So you would have a bunch of books by different authors, but you could unite them under the publisher's banner in a series.
Oh, interesting. So what advice do we have for publishers today looking to have a cohesive and compelling brand?
You really want to think about what your brand communicates. And before you do that, you want to think about why your existing fan base cares about you. What do they see in you? Why do they love you? Do they love you? What do they love about you? What are the feelings that you evoke? Do your books feel cozy? Do they feel authoritative? Do they feel sort of tangled and messy and gonna stir up complicated feelings? Or are they more escapism?
Or how to?
Right, but that would still have those feelings.
Oh, right, how to feel messy.
Or
how to feel cozy.
You either want the book to feel authoritative as a how-to book, or you want the book to feel like a peer.
Got it. Where on the alignment scale are you? Are you chaotic good? Are you lawful evil? Are you a true neutral? Probably not. And
so you want that to be what's incorporated into all of your packaging, all of your development. Nowadays you would want that to be incorporated into your social media. Are you funny? Are you very serious? Are you funny yet serious?
Right, and then all of that will appeal to readers who want that, and they'll go to your books, and because you're a very good editor, they will get what they're wanting out of your books.
And so that's the thing. It's like you don't want confusing stuff intermingled into your brand, you know?
Right.
Like, so you want it to sort of make sense even if your fans couldn't explain it to you.
What's the sound brought by your backing band?
Right. So, like, you know, our brand is like, we don't tell you what to do or how to think about things, but we're trying to provide you with enough information to both, like, make your own choices while, like, seeing a topic in a new way, or, like, seeking information on a subject, you know, whether that's like staircases in Portland you didn't know about, or whether that's like how to build your own boat out of garbage.
That's a great way to put it. I have nothing to add.
Well, we need a bumper.
Brand doesn't have to be a dirty word or something that you burn onto the hide of a cow. Sorry, cows.
That might be the worst bumper I've ever heard.
You could even do what the comic book publishers do and put your logo on the cover.
We're gonna have to study comedy here.
Wait, okay. Bernie's brand is his ears. It's a recognizable silhouette across basically the entire globe.
Oh, like, because it, like, can communicate how he's feeling even to somebody that's never met him, or?
And because they're so, like, floppy and distinct.
Oh, right, like, because that's how he'll be remembered. Mm-hmm. So it's like his brand in, like, kind of all senses of the meaning.
Yeah, his gremlin ears.
So, like, you can meet him and, like, feel like you have a bond and a kinship, mm-hmm. and then you can, like, go home and then see him a week later and be like, oh, Bernie, the one with the ears.
Totally, but then also, yeah, you can look at his ears and see how he's feeling and see how excited he is to meet you and how sad he is you're leaving.
I'll allow it. Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub.
On Twitter at Microcosm.
On Facebook at Microcosm Publishing.
On Instagram at Microcosm_pub.
And here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.